I'm going to read Madeline. Have you ever heard this story before?
No. I haven't heard it.
Okay, well you're going to find out what it's all about. And Madeline was written by Ludwig Bemelmans. Can you say that? Ludwig
I can say
Bemelmans.
that. I can say about
This was a story I read when I was a little girl. In an old house in Paris that was covered with vines. Here's the old house. Lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. In 2 straight lines, they broke their bread. And broke their bread, that just means they ate some food. And brushed their teeth. And went to bed. See how they have 2 straight lines? 2 straight lines of beds. See them? They smiled at the good and frowned at the bad. Let me see you smile. Let me see you frown. And sometimes they were very sad. They left the house at 9:30 in 2 straight lines. How many lines did they have? 2. Were they straight or crooked?
Straight.
Very good.
Not crooked.
In rain or shine. So they went out in the rain, and sometimes they went out when the sun was shining.
Can't go in rain.
The smallest one was Madeline. So the smallest little girl was Madeline. She was not afraid of mice. You know what? I'm scared of mice. I don't like mice.
Now like monsters.
But Madeline wasn't afraid of them.
Me, I'm not.
She loved winter, snow, and ice. To the tiger in the zoo, Madeline just said, "Pooh pooh." So she wasn't afraid of the lion. She didn't think it was any big deal to see a lion.
No, that's her.
That's Madeline. Yeah, see, the other girls are a little bit afraid, but Madeline isn't afraid. See the scared little girls? But there's Madeline. She's not afraid. Madeline is brave.
The girl was afraid. The big girl.
That's the teacher. And nobody knew so well how to frighten Miss Clavel. So Miss Clavel was the big girl you saw. She's a teacher. In the middle of one night, Miss Clavel turned on her light and said, "Something is not right." So there's Miss Clavel.
What's not right?
We're going to find out. She said, something's not right. So she's going to go check it out. Little Madeline sat in bed, cried and cried. Her eyes were red, so Madeline is crying.
Why?
And soon after, Dr. Kahn came. He rushed out to the phone. Madeline isn't feeling well.
Why?
We don't know. So we're going to find out. So the doctor's coming to see what's wrong. And he dialed Danton 10-6. Nurse, he said, "It's an appendix." So it's something is wrong with Madeline's appendix. So she probably has to get her appendix taken out. Everybody had to cry. Not a single eye was dry. Madeline was in his arm, in a blanket, safe and warm. So the doctor is going to take her to the hospital. They're going to stay at the house. In a car with a red light, they drove out into the night. Madeline woke up 2 hours later in her room with flowers. So what is that a picture of?
Flowers.
What is that?
If
somebody has to go to the hospital sometimes, who picks them up?
Ambulance.
Ambulance. Very good. and drank. On her bed there was a crank. And a crank on the ceiling had the habit of sometimes looking like a rabbit.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, there's a fly in there.
That wasn't really a rabbit, that was a crank's shadow. And when she looked at it, it kind of looked like a rabbit, but it wasn't really a rabbit.
Why is still going?
Outside were birds, trees, and sky, and so 10 days passed quickly by. One nice morning, Miss Clavel said, "Isn't this a fine..."
Sun.
You think it's sun? Let's see.
We can put this in the picture.
Day to visit Madeline. Where was Madeline at? She was
At the
still at
hospital.
right. She was still at the hospital. So they're gonna all go visit Madeline at the hospital. Visitors from 2 to 4 read a sign outside her door, tiptoeing with solemn face, with some flowers and a vase.
So they pick them out?
Well, they went to visit her. Do you think she'll be happy to see her friends?
No. That's my mom. Light it up.
That's Miss Clavel.
Yes.
You think so? In they walked and then said, "Ah," when they saw the toys and candy and the dollhouse from Papa. But the biggest surprise by far, on her stomach was a scar. So Madeline had a scar on her stomach because in order to take her appendix out, they had to cut her stomach open to get it out. So now she has a scar. And so she's showing her friends a scar on her stomach. Goodbye, they said. We'll come again. And the little girls left in the rain. So it wasn't raining when they got there, was it? But now it's raining. Sometimes that happens.
Don't make that.
They went home and broke their bread, brushed their teeth, and went to
Bed.
bed.
They have three. Look, look, they have 3 big beds.
We have 1, 2, 3,
I can
4,
count.
5, 6,
I
7,
can count.
8,
I
9,
can
10, 11, 12 beds. Uh-oh, who's missing?
Madeline.
Madeline, very good. Madeline's missing, and she's at the hospital, right? So she hasn't come home yet. In the middle of the night, Miss Clavel turned on the light and said, "Something is not right." And afraid of a disaster, right? That's what happened the last time. And last time Madeline was sick, right?
Now she gotta go to the doctor's again.
Let's see. Miss Clavel ran fast and faster. She's running. Miss Clavel is running. She's worried. She wants to know what's going on.
Where?
And she said, "Please, children, do tell me what is troubling you." So all the little girls are crying. And all the little girls cried, "Boo-hoo, we want to have our appendix out too." So they want to have their appendix out too just because Madeline did.
Cause it hurt.
Good night, little girls. Thank the Lord you are all well. And now go to sleep, said Miss Clavel. And she turned out the light and closed the door. And that's all there is. There isn't any more. So the little girls went to sleep. Because you shouldn't have your appendix taken out unless there's something wrong, right? The end. Did you like that story? What was your favorite part?
Now I'm going up. Yeah.
You like the lions that didn't scare Madeline?
Yeah. And I like